Manchester United taking on Watford away at Vicarage Road on Sunday after we've lost that game in Feyenoord. 2 defeats on the bounce now for Manchester United. Cannot afford to make it 3 defeats in a row, especially 2 defeats in a row in the Premier League. That really does put you under pressure, because you can't afford to lose more than 3 or 4 games if you want to be champions at the end of the season, or at least be challenging for the title. I know nearly every team has lost in the Premier League now. It's going to be difficult, but Manchester City being on the fantastic form they are, we can't afford to lose any more points with them playing at home to Bournemouth, which you'd expect them to win. I would expect Jose Mourinho to make a lot of changes for this game. 8 changes were made for that game in Feyenoord. I would expect him to go back to the previous back 4 that is used this season, with Lind and Bay and Valencia and Shaw. Rojo and Darmian just haven't been good enough for Manchester United so far, so we're going to see them fullbacks come back in. Rojo was really poor in the week, and I'm really disappointed that some of them players didn't really put a marker down in that game and say to Mourinho, look, I should be playing in the first team games in the Premier League every single week. None of them really did that. Even the likes of Martial were really poor. I want to see us keep that midfield 3 that we played and not play this number 10 role anymore, but I think Jose Mourinho isn't going to do that. I would like to see Herrera and Carrick in there with Pogba. Carrick hasn't been playing at all really this season, which is disappointing to see. I wasn't sure if he was injured or not, but it's disappointing that he hasn't been picked for the team. I think he's better than Fellaini, and it is annoying for me. Even Bastian Schweinsteiger is better than Fellaini, and I would like to go the midfield 3. That midfield 3, I think, it will bring more out of Pogba than what we're seeing at this moment in time. I would personally prefer to see if Wayne Rooney plays, to see him out wide. I think his best performances this season so far have come out wide. You think when he played in that game against Hull and Manchester City, the best performances in them games were when he was out wide. He hasn't really performed well at all this season, but unlike Martial, he has affected games when he's been playing in the team. An assist here, a goal there, another assist here, which that's the only reason why he's keeping his place in the team. And plus the other players just aren't stepping up to the plate. Memphis Depay, Martial, Mohamed Mata hasn't really stepped up to the plate enough this season so far. Admittedly, they haven't all played a lot of game time, but when they play, they've got to step up to the mark, like Marcus Rashford's done a lot of times for Manchester United. He will be the man on one side. I would go for Wayne Rooney on the other side, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic down the middle. I think that would be the best for me going into this game. I'm not really sure. It's difficult to go what team to go with at the moment when we've been on poor form in the last 2 games at least. Hopefully things can improve in this game, but Watford are on good goal scoring form, 4 past West Ham away last week, coming from 2 goals down, which was fantastic for them. Troy Deeney scoring a really great goal. Admittedly, the goalkeeper and defender got in all sorts of problems there, and the goalkeeper made a mistake in the second half, so a couple of them goals could have been avoided, but still they're scoring goals. The only good thing is their defence isn't very good, so hopefully Manchester United can get at Watford's defence in this game. Although the main problem is we're relying heavily on Zlatan Ibrahimovic at the moment. He's the only player in the Manchester United team that scored more than 1 goal, which is really disappointing. Wayne Rooney, Martial and Rashford are really going to have to step up to the mark and start scoring a lot of goals for Manchester United this season. Otherwise, we're not going to be challenging for this title. You cannot rely on one player getting you goals. Last season, we were heavily reliant on Martial, even though he wasn't scoring a hell of a lot of goals in the league last season. But this season, he has been absolutely atrocious so far, and I don't know what has happened to him. But we will have to wait and see. Hopefully things can improve in this game. Going into that Northampton game, hopefully we can get a better performance in this game. I mean, really, Manchester United on paper should be beating Watford comfortably, but it doesn't work out that way. We struggled to beat Hull City in that game 2 or 3 weeks ago, which was really disappointing. Most people thought that Manchester United were going to put them to the sword, but it wasn't to be. I think it's going to be tight. Could be a 1-1 draw. Maybe Manchester United will nick it 2-1. I'm not too sure, but we'll have to wait and see. I think Watford will score because they're in good attacking form. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you all again soon.